My name is Carl and I love lulling atmospheric guitar sounds. I'm 36 years old and I have a family with 3 kids and a beautiful wife. The guy behind the camera is one of my closest friends. His name is Timo. He wanted to make kind of an artist documentary about me. Okay, so we're here in the northwestern part of Switzerland. It's a small market, and we kind of, some people are saying hello to us, that's funny. And we will buy some Swiss-German gingerbread. It's called Magerbrot, and that means stomach bread, and that's kind of funny. So when music came into my life, I was about 8 years old. Loved to listen to orchestral music all the time. And one day my mom came to me, she was like kind of sick of all those orchestral music, and she gave me a CD called Born in the USA of Bruce Springsteen, and it kind of changed my whole life. Hallo zusammen. Ich nehme gerne ein kleines Säckchen Magerbrot. So I started to listen to rock music and Bruce Springsteen, Chris Rea and stuff, and that kind of was a big part of my growing up regarding the whole music thing. When I became a teenager, a friend of mine brought punk into my life, and that kind of changed everything one more time, and I was really infected like with the whole skate punk thing and bands like Pennywise and Blink and stuff. That kind of really was a big influence to me when I was 13, 14. So as a music nerd who listens to music all the time, when I got 16, I decided to learn an instrument, and I always wanted to play the drums, but that wasn't possible because we used to live in apartments and flats, and that was way too noisy. So then I decided to buy myself an electric guitar. So when I got my electric guitar, I really wanted to kind of learn to play the electric, but to be fair, there was electric guitar is a pretty noisy instrument too, so I think was pretty hard for my mom and for my sister at first, but I kind of sticked to the electric, and I joined some bands or started some bands, and we created noise in the beginning, but the more we kind of had our rehearsals and we kind of tried to get better on our instrument, the better I got. The recommendation I can give to younger musicians: join bands as fast as you can. Like, even if you can't play a chord or progression or try it, whatever, just communicate and play with others. What was the first genre I started? Sure, punk. We played in a band called Flash Garden. It's kind of an homage to the almighty Flash Gordon. We played a whole mixture of punk, independent music, and even with metal parts and stuff. We weren't very good, but we really enjoyed playing together in a band and had some gigs and even some pretty good reviews. And so the more I played with others, I really tried to play as much as I could to get better and to keep playing in several bands with several genres. I even joined a metalcore band, and I really had to train my technique. When I got about 19, 20, my musical preference experienced the next earthquake because I got into emo music. I got a record called Clarity by Jimmy Eat World, and it kind of changed almost my whole life. Punk, metal as well, hardcore and emo just made me some kind of a melody and ambience oriented musician who really likes to have some heavy hits and big riffs and noisy drums. And when I was 20, I made my way to church and I learned to know some beautiful people at church, like for example Timo or my wife. And I got into worship music as well. And worship forced me to kind of check the whole pop stuff and to kind of really be more subtle and be more like a team player within a band. And I really learned a lot from like other worship musicians. Timo always said that an electric guitarist has a certain role in a band. What I learned in worship music was more like to play more subtle, to focus more on ambience and to focus more on not so many heavy riffs and stuff and more on the whole thing. Timo always said, if you imagine art, like a picture for example, imagine an electric guitarist to be like this. The art is almost done, like 98% is done. What the electric guitarist does is take the brush and draw the last 2%. So that kind of impressed me, like the whole idea to play as an electric guitarist like this, to watch, to listen, to see where do I find my place as an electric guitarist within the whole song. And I even played like this in rock bands, in hardcore bands, and that was really such a good thing, like such a good picture. And to combine a post-hardcore heart with a worship ambient style of playing the electric kind of really touched a few people's hearts. That's mainly what I do. I combine like my heavy background with ambient worship stuff and I create something out of that. So Timo and I, we played a lot of shows together with different artists. We even joined a little tour by Canadian musicians. On this tour, I kind of learned something that I always should carry with me, and this is called business cards. And this business card is pretty old. I think it's from 2013, like 10 years old, and I came to the conclusion that having like business cards to give to others, to tell them what you are doing as an electric guitarist is something pretty neat. I talked to a lot of other musicians and locations and venues. I could give them my business card, and some of them even years later contacted me for, hey, I have a recording job here, can you do that, and whatever. And I really kind of got into something I would say like session guitarist. Within the last years I really tried different instruments within the whole worship thing, like different churches. Sometimes I played drums, which is kind of funny. I played the bass, I played acoustic guitar, which is pretty close to electric, but it's something different, I think. Yeah, and that kind of really made me a better musician in general. And I really learned to imagine how could a band sound like. 2018, I joined the worship team in the ICF Basel. This time I really had to tune my skills once more, because they have a pretty high standard and their way they see like worship music and they feel worship music. So that really made me a better musician again. And I was encouraged to practice more and try different things like playing stereo guitars live and stuff. So yeah, I'm really thankful for this community. In 2019, I switched my job and I wanted to play in a really like ordinary rock band again. One of the local post-hardcore bands, Hayden, love you guys. They were looking for a new lead guitarist. I applied for the job, and since then I'm a part of the band. And I really love to play with them live, recording the EP we released last autumn. Okay, so Corona had an impact on me as a musician too, like on many others. And I really started with a whole home recording thing. And in the meantime, I kind of swapped parts of my equipment and kind of improved other things I had. This year in 2023, I kind of experienced kind of a breakthrough as a musician, because the whole thing I had with Lulling Sounds, which you can read on this business card, on this 10-year-old business card, made this come true because I released my completely own music. I went so deep within the home recording thing that I could program drums, record bass, the acoustic, electric, mastering and producing, mixing, whatever, that I could release music on my very own. And that makes me so happy, because whenever I like, I can just record some stuff, drop it on DistroKid and release my own music. And this is like a reference for all the other people out there who ask, what is Lulling Sounds? Even some people who need like some electric guitar lines, and they don't know how I sound or how it sounds when I play the electric or record some electrics. They can just go on Spotify and check my music. And so one last thing this year that really made a dream come true was the restructuring of my home recording basement. Okay, now I will tell you some things about my workflow regarding the whole recording process. I'm going straight left and right, full stereo, to my Apollo Twin X interface, and from there on I continue in the Universal Audio Luna DAW. Generally I'm recording my whole tracks at first, and I separate them in different colors and instrument groups. So I have here the lead guitar groups. All the tracks are lighted yellow and the rhythm guitars are in blue. I don't double track, so I'm really recording just one single track, and then I record the next track. When I'm done with all the tracks, I sum them up. I just open some buzzes. I have here rhythm guitar bass, lead guitar bass, drum bass and stuff. And all the parts, like all the rhythm guitar tracks, are gathered in this rhythm guitar bass. And same with drums and with lead guitars. I use a Studer band machine on every track. Within the buzzes, I'm using the Neve summing console to give the whole bass track a little more warmth and depth. I forgot to mention the drum tracks and the bass tracks. And they have a little reverb and some compressors on there. Last but not least, all the bass tracks gather in the main track. And this is like my mastering process. I use the BX Master Desk for the mastering, and then 1176 limiter to give the track what it still needs, like to be really a pushing forward and a transparent sounding track. Yeah. The last thing what I'm doing is I upload the exported track onto DistroKit, and there I'm using the mixer to give the track the last 2%, and then I'm done. The special thing about this pedalboard is I'm playing it both at church and in a band. In our band rehearsal room, I'm playing a Fender Princeton reissue on the right side and a Vox AC15 on the left side. All the effects are going straight in front of the amps, so left, right, stereo with tube amps. Live, I'm mostly playing my ampless rig consisting of the Universal Audio Ruby and Dream, pretty much inspired by the one and only Mark Johnston. The whole concept of the pedalboard is I'm playing this in a post-hardcore band and a church, and I'm using it as my recording pedalboard. It's full stereo, and that's pretty important to me because I'm really a fan of like big soundscapes and wide stereo effects and reverbs. Almost every drive pedal is like non-MIDI, so I have to switch it on manually, and I'm really a fan of like analog drive pedals and stuff. Every wet effect is MIDI controlled by the MC8. This is my pedalboard. Everything is powered by a Strymon Zoomer and 3 Ohis under the board. If you have any questions regarding wiring, effects chain and stuff, just post it in the comments. Okay, so this is my Fender American Ultra Jazzmaster in Cobra Blue, upgraded with a Mastery Vibrato, Mastery Bridge and Frailin noiseless pickups. I play this in my band live on stage. That's why I have DiMarzio straps. Okay, so this is my Nick Huber Crowdstar 2. I bought this on Kleinanzeigen because brand new, it's not affordable for me. And I really love this guitar because this humbucker is so powerful and you can split it into a single coil, and I really love the P90. And this is a very, very special guitar. It's a Fender 60s classic player Stratocaster. My wife gave it to me on our wedding. There's such a big story behind this guitar, and I really love it because the neck is so smooth. I tried some custom shop Stratocasters, and this one is so much better than the ones I tried. I really love this piece of gear. So now you've seen the guitars I'm playing actually. You've seen as well a Johnny Marr Jaguar, a Gretsch baritone and a Squier precision bass. So those are my main guitars and I really love those guitars. I still have a Nash T63, but I'm thinking about selling this one, not quite sure yet. For an acoustic, I play a Taylor GS Mini, which is a great piece of gear for that amount of money. So what are the most important things I learned within the past years? First of all, some things really take time. I mean, like recording my own stuff in my basement whenever I like and releasing my own music whenever I want to is such a privilege, and it took time to reach that moment where I was able to kind of publish whenever I want to. And what I learned as well is that detours and needing patience are so important, because I had to be very patient until I had the opportunity to join a rock band again. And I'm so thankful because now I can really appreciate playing in a band again and playing shows and stuff and having my mates standing right behind me. Okay, and the next thing that is pretty important to me is like I have such a wonderful wife that allows me to do all the things I can do, and if she wouldn't be so kind with me, giving me so much time for the music, I couldn't do all the things I do. And all the things I said make me so thankful that I can do just what I love and what I like. And I have my home basement recording studio. I have great band and family and friends pushing and supporting me wherever they can, and I know it's such a big, huge privilege that I can do what I actually do. My name is Carl and I love lulling atmospheric guitar sounds. First of all, Scheiße, sorry, jetzt vergessen. Was war das erste Nummer? And what I learned as well is that detours is... Oh man! And the third thing...
Hey, komm nur, gell?